Is there any possibility that baseball sees the brawl between the Angels and the Mariners and does another rule change? I mean, nothing.
No.
Like that's cool.
Listen,
suspend, but
I don't like brawls. I take that back. I'm amused by them. I was on another program earlier today, and I will repeat what I said there. It brings out like my inner Beavis. I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, fight. I get very excited about that. But then you see Archie Bradley breaks his elbow in it, and you see Anthony Rendon going out there and shoving Jesse Winker in the face with a cast on his right arm, and he's shoving with his left. And you see Phil Nevin get suspended for 10 games. You don't get suspended for 10 games if you didn't do something that was beyond the pale if you're a manager. And you see Jesse Winker get 7 games when if he had, and listen, I understand why he was as mad as he was. The reality is if Jesse Winker turns around and walks to first base, this doesn't happen. So there was clearly some fire there that was going on, and it's I'm sorry, it's not a surprise that 2 underachieving teams that are below 500 and that had playoff aspirations and are on the outside looking in right now want to show themselves that there's still some fight in them, and they took the figurative, Rich, and made it literal.
So why wouldn't baseball, at the very least, automatically suspend anybody who comes in from a bullpen? Anybody who runs 300 feet to join a fray. And if I'm not mistaken, 2 of the players who got suspended.
That's a very interesting question. I had this debate with my dad probably a month or so ago.
Okay.
And his thing was, if you come off the bench, then you should be suspended. And my problem with that is, if that's the rule that's in place, it's 1 on 9. Right? It's the batter against an entire team. And what happens if that entire team happened to be the aggressors? If you're a teammate of a guy who's out there literally on an island, you want to go in and make sure he's safe. And that's why J.P. Crawford was coming over the top with his forearm strikes, and that's why Julio Rodriguez was in the middle of it. They were out there to stick up for their guy, and I don't blame them for that. I appreciate sticking up for your teammate, but remember, there have been scenarios where I think it was maybe Hunter Strickland threw a pitch at someone, and the guy really wanted to charge him out, and Buster Posey could have held him back and didn't. Buster Posey was essentially saying, I'm so tired of this. Yeah, just go beat him up. It's fine. Maybe he'll learn something if he gets punched in the face. I do think that players are going to look at this, Rich, and say 7 games is a lot of time to miss for Jesse Winker, and especially if I'm on a playoff caliber team, I can't afford to miss that time if I'm one of the more productive players, if I'm one of the more important players on the team, because if I do, it could be the difference between our team making the playoffs and not.
I know, and Tepera and Iglesias, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the second inning. I'm assuming they entered the fray from the bullpen. But if you are suspending a manager like Nevin 10 games, right, and Winker 7, you're clearly trying to stop this. You're clearly trying to create a deterrent. Why would you then? Why would you allow 20 more people to enter a fray, Jeff? Like, why would you do that? Why just say, you guys let this 22 on 22 is fine, right? Like, there's whoever, or how many people are on a major league bench at any given time? 30
on a bench?
Yeah, like 30, 35.
No, not even close.
I mean,
30.
I'm including interpreters here now, as clearly the baseball's disciplinary committee did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, human beings, like any human being with fists and the gumption to want to throw them. Like, why are we adding 20, 30 more people to the fray?
Yeah,
like,
part of me
it's a simple
looks at
fix.
it like, when you have that number of people who are on the benches already, is keeping the relievers out of it really going to make it bad? I suppose there could be a hothead in there who is going to
throw gum, throw gum and throw peanuts, throw peanut bins on the field. You know what I mean? Like, it's just. That was the other thing, too. That was the circus-like aspect of it. Like, it's all over, and now here comes a guy who's pissed about getting ejected, throwing gum around. Like, now players are picking up gum off the infield. Like, what are we doing? I mean, I don't know.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, sir.
My favorite part of the whole
that
thing was Rendon going left-handed, like he did on the swing against Brett Phillips. But,
did he connect? Did he connect it like he did on Phillips, too?
He did.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a pretty good shot to the face. But my close second favorite part was the slow-mo shot of Bryce Iglesias seeding the field. That was awesome.
Is it the first instance of an interpreter ever being suspended by baseball? An on-field incident? To my knowledge, yes. And I mean, will the Angels be able to replace him as an interpreter, or will they will just have a communication problem for those two games?
I think that one day it may be problematic. It just make sure it's not on the day. Well, if we look at the rotation, I don't know that there's a Spanish-speaking starter.
Is Trout trying to get hooked on phonics real quick over the next 2 days to try and contribute in that respect? So I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit here, I guess.